Welcome home, gamer. We are on Mechabellum today. We've got a special guest coming today for an interview with Steelsane, who ran Sledgehammers to a championship last week.
Hi. Hello, Mr. Amarok.
Hello. How are you, Steelsane? Welcome. Right, I was expecting a little bit, just waiting for audience to build, etc. So I've got a replay of one of my games going, which is you could critique if you like. We have.
Is it your replay? Yep.
Yeah, it's my replay. I'm near side with the sledge line. Opponent has gone with the scorpion answer, which honestly, yes, it works against sledges in theory, but don't mind seeing as with a sledge line.
Phoenixes. Yes.
Yes, right. He is aerial specialist and could theoretically win in a Phoenix versus Phoenix fight, but yes, Phoenix was definitely. I noticed you like
He's aerial specialist, but he
has no air.
He does not have Phoenixes.
Yes, he's only got 2 chaff, so he got I think a much stronger chaff board.
Did you lose this game?
No, I won this game.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he took a little whiles. He took a little while for me to stabilize and turn it around against him. Mostly, as you said, there you are, 3 Phoenix. I thought about elite recruiting them at level 2, and you'll see I do that a little bit later to really injure players, since he's so scared to play Phoenix into aerial spec. I figured at this point he wasn't going to win the chaff, so there's no way he's going to engage on the Phoenix. Right?
Don't scare. When you have sledges, it's all better with sledges.
Right.
Against aerial specialist, I guess.
Yeah, the change in breakpoint so that Phoenix doesn't one-shot a tank really. Sledge is a lot stronger than people realized at first. And they used to be so hard countered by just bringing out a Phoenix of same level. And yeah, now that the Phoenix takes forever to work through it, it feels like. So he's up to 3 Scorpions, one of them's up to level 2. I don't think either side has any techs on the board yet. But, we've almost got enough chaff to get through here. But, didn't quite this round, but I kind of had a feeling at this point that as soon as I was adding techs, he was going to be in a lot more trouble. So wasn't too worried, but did drop under, kind of about 1,400 hit points. And picked up positive or improved firepower control because I wanted to drop some real damage on one of these Scorpions. So my thought there was to bring out these level 2 Phoenix. And one of the things I've been doing, because it changes the breakpoints on things, is to go Elite Marksman. So I don't think I can afford that on this round, but it's one of the reasons I Elite recruited these, was to have the level 2s on the board.
Need more.
Oh, there we go. I actually loaned for it. So that brings it up. So 1-on-1, a Phoenix does not one-shot a Sledgehammer, but it does once you've got the Elite Marksman on. So obviously that's not relevant here because he doesn't have sledges. Struggling with the sledge line and want Phoenix as an answer, or have Phoenix into a sledge line for some reason. That's the solution I've found. Elite Marksman on the Phoenix helps a lot. And we've reached what Steelsane saw as clear in round 3. Phoenix versus Scorpion. Just took me a minute to get there. I swear he didn't see this replay. This has never been streamed before or anything.
Unfair battle.
It became unfair pretty quickly. And then from here, he just struggled to catch up to it. I think from that tipping point, it's pretty much a one-sided. Although he does have some decent answers. He tried the anti-air forts against them, so. But as we're starting to get actually a large storm in my area, so if I lose connection, it's not me rage quitting on the interview or on the stream. It's that we're actually under a pretty heavy storm right now, so I just got a flood warning. It's not applicable to me. We're up on top of a hill, so although it was pretty impressive trying to get kiddo to school today with
I'll wait you.
lot of water coming down that hill. So I've started pulling him apart with the arc light and chaff flank just to get in on those scorpions a little quicker. Why let them work? I think I pull the same thing on the other side the next round. You just see what a difference that's made to the engagement timings. Although it is kind of ironic that he's made his Mustangs survive the sledges on that side. Or outlived the sledges on that side, so a little bit hoist by my own petard on that side at the end here, but we still have some sledges left to go take care of the Mustangs. Otherwise, it could have been a disaster.
Look at this aerial specialist.
Yes, he's aerial specialist. He does.
Aerial specialist with 1 level phoenixes.
Yes, with level 1 phoenixes that he added in round 6, right? I mean, it's just one of the things. If you can knock your opponent out of their game plan and make them not use their specialist, that's you doing well at seizing the game, or them kind of losing the plot a little bit. I always feel good when I play a giant specialist and they never play a giant. You know, it's like, okay, whatever I was doing had them so worried.
That's my style.
Yeah,
I play sledges with giant specialist.
Well, yes, okay. If it was against you, it would not be. It would be because you had chosen it, not because I was forcing you into it. But you know, at my level, which is I've bounced between 1300 and 1650, I guess. I'm right around 1300 right now.
I remember when I playing giant specialist in round 6, I guess, when I already played sledges.
Right. Wait a minute. I just figured out. I just remembered. I'm giant specialist. Oh, I guess I could bring in a free overlord to support these sledges. Would you guys like some photon coding? Okay. Here you go.
I can add some overlords, 2 overlords to end game versus against Scorpion player.
Yeah, I really should have in this one. But I just committed into what was clearly working for me. Just kept throwing levels onto the Phoenix, so we're up to level 4 Phoenix with an item is doing, you know, giant-sized damage. It's almost enough to take down that barrier in a single shot.
Phoenix's game and slashes is enough for this game.
Yeah. It's quite enough for this one. So I was playing this because I was like, this is probably the most reminiscent of your style of play that I get. So I'm just warming up the audience for you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I was gonna say.
Oh,
You
is
know,
it started? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's start the interview.
Start.
We've got this one, I think, under control.
Okay. Okay.
T- tell us a little bit about
Okay.
yourself. Who are you? What's your background? What's your education? Um, how,
Mm,
how did you get into Mechabellum?
From 13 to 19 years old, I tried to become the best in Dota 2,
Okay,
uh, but it didn't work out.
yeah, this
Then
is a
I
tough
changed.
ask. It's a tough ask.
Okay, that was my dream.
Yes.
Then I changed my occupation, became musician.
Okay.
First playing bass guitar,
Uh-huh.
then starting singing in a group.
Nice.
Later, the group broke up, and after a while, I became studying game design.
Right.
But having never completed the course, and found Mechabellum 6 months ago,
Right.
and decided to become a streamer.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna be only streamer.
Right. You're, I think, one of the better regarded Mechabellum streamers in the 401, right? Like, you'd probably be the
Yeah,
top ranked, so
yeah,
the
and
equivalent.
play Archer, I guess.
Yeah, Play Archer, yes. Yeah, Play Archer is very good as well. So,
Now I work as a courier,
yeah,
just just to have something to live on.
yeah,
Uh,
some income on the side.
just some money.
Yeah, Twitch streaming
After
is
working,
it's not the lucrative profession that some people might want it to be, right?
yeah, streamer is better than courier.
Yes,
After working as a courier, I really want to play something that requires mental stress because working as a courier is very boring and
right,
stupid. All day you're just walking around and nothing else
right.
happens. So that's all.
What part of Russia are you in?
I was born and live in Novosibirsk,
Novosibirsk.
the
Okay.
capital of Siberia.
Mm-hmm. And I understand it's actually very culturally diverse, more than some of the western parts of Russia are. Is that correct?
I think it's uh, people. Uh, mm, for me, it's central
Central. Okay,
of
central.
Russia.
Okay.
But people calling center of Russia is Moscow. But
Right.
technically,
Technically,
center of Russia is Siberia.
yes, exactly. Geographically.
Geographically, yeah.
Yeah. I do hate to break the hearts of your female fans, but I understand you're married. How how long? How did you guys meet?
How we meet?
Yeah.
It's about 5 years.
Yeah.
My heart what has belonged to my girlfriend for more than 5 years. We have
Nice.
been married for more than 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and we just meet for for my music group.
Ah. Right. Okay.
My music group is the reason why I meet my girlfriend.
Got it. Got it.
Yes, got it.
Let's see. If I do the MMR leaderboard, I think you're top 25, right? Right now at whoops, world leaderboard. Oh, you were okay. Somebody picked up like 2 or 3 MMR and dropped you to 26. You were in 24th when I checked this just before the stream started. So top
Pretty
top
much the
25, pretty
tournaments.
much. Yeah, 2000 MMR player, and Steelsane's resume is impeccable. He won the European tournament weekend tournament 33, won the European weekend tournament 36 about 9 days ago, and won the Asia tournament this weekend just completed, so reigning Asian
Three
champion.
U 3 EU and 1 Asia.
3 EU now? Okay.
That's all. 3 EU.
Congratulations. And came really close to completing the double. Runner up to Apucci in the European
Diagonal.
tournament. Yeah, yes, very, very close. And ironically, Apucci then came very close to the double, but lost the final in the Americas. So, how hard is it to win
Well,
2 tournaments in the same weekend? 14-0. Like,
it is really hard.
really, really difficult.
And I did not won.
No, no.
So I have not to say that I can win. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, that was a lot of names we know around here, indeed.
I have a lot of tries in next tournaments,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, you have opportunities in the next tournaments, exactly. So,
I'll try again.
try again. Um, let's see, is
Was
there...
it question that how long I've been playing? I play at least 2 hours a day, but
Mhm.
now I'm resting for the second day.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it's better to rest for
Yeah,
a
you
couple
can't...
days if you feel that you need it.
Yeah, if you're at all burnt out, forcing it is not the way through.
After 2 tournaments, I really need it.
Right. What do you think are the major differences between what I would call the 201 meta? I've noticed personally that there seems like a different meta build in the 401 and then in the 501. Like, do you feel like there's actually distinct play styles to each of those? And if so, what do you think those are?
I can note the differences in the play of Russian, Europeans, and Asians.
Hmm.
Europeans, like Americans, play aggressively most of all.
Right,
Russians play very standardly,
right.
but the Asians also play very standardly, but
Yes.
in their own way,
Yeah.
including technologies that I don't understand.
Why is this the
Some
meta? Yes.
elite fortresses, I don't understand it.
What's not to understand? They're fun. Big stompy robots. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I shoot. I hit things
two,
hard.
two fortresses,
They're
two
just...
fortresses to get elite.
yes. Um,
Looks nice.
it looks very nice. Exactly. So there's a perception that you're mostly a standard player yourself and have really mastered it. But do you ever cut loose and get aggressive in that European style yourself? Did you ever practice it to see if you would enjoy it? Do you ever play aggro? How often do you play it compared to standard? And
Very rarely.
yeah,
I play aggressively. Very rarely.
right.
When I started playing, I wanted to become not a standard, not aggro, but the best anti-rush strategic player,
Okay. So
defense player, best defense player
you're gonna answer the
to beat
monks of the
aggressive
world.
strategic
Yes.
players.
Answer the monks and rats of the world.
Yeah.
Excellent.
To beat monks and rat. Very rarely, I think it happens probably once every 100 games. I play
Beating...
aggressive.
oh, playing aggressive. Just enough that somebody can't count on you being completely
It's
passive.
very rarely. If you see, if any, if any guys you see that I play aggressive, it's very rarely.
All right.
I don't like to play aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the other way around. I started with a laptop that was so bad that it couldn't play a 13 round game. It would crash. So I had to be aggressive to make games short. My computer was so bad. Don't care whether I win or lose. I just want this game to end in 7 rounds.
Well,
It was pretty bad. Um, So
I can
we do have
answer the question
yeah, we do have
from
a
chat.
question from chat. Zalix wanted to know, what new units do you hope to see in the future? And it's kind of similar to one of the things I wanted to know. So for sure, what do you think the game could use in the design space? What could be added?
I think right now the units that game have is enough.
Hmm,
So I need to I need some UI from developers. New UI, new replay UI, new tournament UI. I really need it, not units.
right. My favorite unit suggestion right now, the one that I would like to see, is an engineers unit that can do
Engineers.
firefighting and anti-acid. So an answer to when the opponent is throwing down all the acid on the board, all the fire on the board. Wait, no, I have engineers. They will clean this up. What about are there any abilities or technologies or items that you've thought of or maybe wished for that you'd like to see added?
I had no idea
None. Yeah, yeah,
to to add new units.
yeah.
I really know. I had an idea to add water cannons to the Mustangs, but I already abandoned it.
Yes, yes. Water cannons off the Mustangs. Actually, I do think that's
That was my idea.
I do think there's that the game is so finely balanced that there are unpredictable effects from adding new units. And I think that, for example, adding the how to describe this, adding the Sea Whiz turret and anti-missile tech for War Factory made Mustang much stronger because prior to that, Mustang was your only solution to Stormcallers. And so that adding units that could handle Stormcaller missiles allowed Mustangs out of this role where they were in an anti-missile. They were the only anti-missile role, and that made people commit to them as a damage-dealing unit in a way that before that they hadn't been quite so easy to commit to. So doing something like water cannons on the Mustangs actually would have kind of that effect also of forcing them to
It's just for fire. Just for fire.
just for fire. Yes. Um, Platonic wants to know, what do you think about the factory unit?
Oh, whoa, Platon. It's my apprentice.
Oh, your apprentice. Excellent.
Yeah. What do you think about? What do you think about the factory unit? The factory unit, it's a really hard unit to counter. You need to counter complex.
Yeah, it's complex to counter for sure. I have the advantage of having played Submon a
You
lot.
need fire. You need acid. You need some chaff clear
Right,
and and chaff clear and some melters.
right,
Maybe some acid.
right. So in
Really
your
hard to counter.
yes, yes, it is. Is there any player out there that seems to just have your number? Somebody who's a nemesis that you struggle to beat, or do you feel like you can go toe to toe with anyone?
Miasim is
Miyasim?
now my enemy number one.
Excellent.
He did not let me take the Asian tournament twice.
Got it.
Twice.
Twice. Ouch.
In the final of
Uh-huh.
Asia and the semi-final of
Right.
Asia.
Yikes. That would be frustrating, yes.
Yeah.
All right. What about up and coming players? Have you noticed anybody that you think we should be keeping an eye on? Somebody who's not the 2000 MMR player and tournament winner, but who you could see getting there?
Just I was just about to say So Platon is here.
Yes.
So Platon.
Platonic wants to know how. It's a good question,
Yeah,
actually. How does a
my
champion deal with?
apprentice is showing success in tournaments and has every chance of becoming a champion.
Good, good.
So believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, Platon.
Sweet.
If you're here.
He wanted to know, how does a champion deal with tilt?
I think you need don't tilt to don't tilt. Perceive the game as a process. Just become champion. That you are, Platon. You almost champion. You're second Russian player in Asia tournament.
Yeah, in fact, if
You
we,
know that?
I was going to say we should show that because the uh, it's Hertz here in the Asia tournament, and then the 401 did so well in the European tournament. 2-3-4. You guys are playing very strong right now. I rate the European tournament as the hardest, the highest level, because we get 201
I think
players, we
in
get
Asia
301
tournaments is
players.
Harder than EU tournaments.
You think the Asia is harder? You would know. You've played
Yeah, yeah.
both
For me,
more
for me,
frequently.
it's harder.
Well, yes, if you've won 3 European and one Asian, I guess it would be.
Yeah,
But
every Asia tried. I tried to get every Asia tournament since June, I guess.
mhm.
Since June, every weekend.
Wow. Yes, that does lead to a good question from our list, which is how many hours does Steam say you've played, and how many hours do you play a day?
I can show you. More than 1,000. Okay. I turned on demonstration.
I see. I see.
See my picture.
I will switch over in one moment off this. There we go. So yes, I've played 1,316 hours.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Excellent.
easy. It's easy for you to say.
Yes, easier for me to say than
It's hard to say some numbers for me.
right. Mine would claim that I have played 1,250, but so much of that has been casting replays, 2v2s. I don't think it's quite the same. I think your hours are more honest than mine. So let me ask the one I want to ask the most, which is one of the things that I admire about your play is your creativity in the face of the meta. For example, you won European Tournament 36 by identifying and finding sledgehammer armor as the answer in the face of the Vulcan Phoenix meta.
Yeah.
How do you?
Without mechanical reach.
Yes, without mech rage, right? It's just a completely different from the way that anybody else was playing Sledgehammer, right? So it's super creative. How do you develop your ideas like that?
Okay. My ideas come from approach I take to the game. I'm trying to find the most correct moves, ways to solve strategic puzzles. Firstly, I decided to abandon Arclights due
Hmm.
to weakness of this unit in the late game. Since I gave up Arclights, I need to use something instead, so I started using tanks a lot,
Mm-hmm.
sledges. Secondly, I throw away a lot of ideas if they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
I try to leave only working options. Armor simply turned out to be a great way to make the Vulcan useless,
Hmm.
and so that all he could do was try to burn tanks.
So, do you test things out in testing ground? Do you play on ladder with an alternate account? Do you just test everything on your main account and risk the MMR, but trust that you will always be able to build it back?
It's like a question that we have in chat from Platon.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yeah,
same
yes, it's the
question.
same question.
I like to test everything in the real conditions during all this time. I only entered the training field a few times, I guess. I
Yeah,
take risks, but I can play more proven things in tournaments. At tournaments, you can recap all combat power that you spent on training in the ladder.
right. Yeah, because of the accelerated gains and losses for MMR or combat power.
So the answer is better is practice better than analyze.
Just practice.
Analyze.
Do, just do. Practice more, play more,
Just do, yeah.
and time in the seat.
Play
And
more, win more.
yeah, I notice in particular when I come, I'll wind up having streams that wind up very focused on replays or casting tournaments, etc. And when I come back to the game after not having played for a day or three or five or whatever it is, I definitely feel rusty and not making as good decisions as I do when I've been playing regularly. So, do you have the same feeling, or do you find you're still making good decisions after a little bit
Yeah.
of a break?
You just need to be patient after rest days.
Yeah. So
Where am I?
Mia stream, huh?
It's an MMR leaderboard.
Yes.
Wrong leaderboard.
Oh, is there combat power leaderboard? Yes, we should look at that one. There you go.
That's
top top three and tournament winners
I
all,
played
right?
2 games. I played 2 games today and lose some points.
Yeah,
I was on second place.
yeah, yeah. All time highest is second for sure. 1,900 wins. I crossed past 1,000 wins recently, but you're the highest of all time wins. Sacco at 2,400.
And just 19 aggro
E-Man
games.
3,400. uh, this fellow at 3,000. There's almost nobody else in that. Yeah, nobody else is that high. So that's
Sarah.
Sarah and this player as well. Yeah, Sarah should be for sure.
It was a discovery for me yesterday that Zach is a salt monkey.
He's a salt monkey. Yes. Yeah, he's had some good results recently too. He had took runner up in the Americas tournament at whatever 4 in the morning for him because it's
Yeah,
he's UK time. So he was like, if I lose the second game, I'm out. But then he never lost the second game.
yeah.
So, how much do I play Mechabellum? So, sure, it's a fair question. And I've played about 1,000. Um, I've had just over 1,000 wins. I've had MMR up to 1,650. I've had it as low as 1,250 recently. Rat's rules really bumped me down because it made it clear to me that I was taking advantage of people that didn't know some of the things he said. So the quality of play improved across the board, and my ranking dropped a bit. I also have not been playing as frequently as somebody like like Steelsane would be. I'm sure if you looked at Steele's list, it's it wouldn't be the bottom of the list here wouldn't be 9 days ago. It would be much more recent. Um, and so And yeah, we play a lot of random 2v2s as well, so it's not quite the same. It's a bit of a different game in
Maybe that's a
2v2.
secret. Maybe that's a secret. I don't play 2v2
Yeah, you don't play 2v2 at all, right? Which is
at all. Yeah,
um, I had been
I hate it.
I had been playing a 2v2 or a strat that I developed in 2v2 out of that aggro build, which was an
It's different.
aggro.
It's different game.
Yeah, it is a different game, but I'd been building this aggro sledgehammer rush that if it worked, right, it was kind of this offset. I'm going to rush one tower with sledgehammers. If I can get that tower and then have my sledges drive across the board and get experience from my partner's opponent's units as well, they snowball so much faster. And I really overrated this strat in 1v1 where it wasn't getting the extra experience from my partner's opponent. And I just couldn't make it work in 1v1 as well as it was working in 2v2. So, but I was married to it. I was sure that everybody was undervaluing it. So, as a sledgehammer enjoyer, it was really pleasing to see your win with sledges in Europe.
Typical sledgehammer enjoyer.
Typical sledgehammer enjoyer, exactly. Um, so,
Vulcan fan and sledgehammer enjoyer.
yes. Um, so, what advice would you give to a person who's finding it tough to climb in MMR? Like, I know my experience, at least, was that there were plateaus in my thinking. I got stuck at 770 MMR for a while. I got stuck at 950 for a while. I got stuck at 1100 for a while, and it took changing thoughts in order for me to break past those plateaus. What advice would you have for somebody that's finding it tough to climb?
I think you need to watch some games of strongest players.
Just get out and watch the top
Yeah,
players play.
just watch and play more. Maybe
Yeah.
play more. I have no thoughts to you guys.
um,
Yeah, I'm just playing.
just play. For me, the advice would be watch my stream. We do try to answer and give a
Yeah,
lot of educational content to it. Um, hmm.
I have thoughts for new players.
Yeah, for new players, please.
New players.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
if you have
Should
advice for new players, let's hear it.
maybe new players should learn to think in two planes. What is the best move for you, and what is the best move for the enemy? Maybe that
Mm,
thought can help for you too. Once you understand, once you understand your opponent's best move, you can use that to create your own best move.
right,
Well, of course, it's worth watching the games of best player. Okay.
right. Actually, the watching the what was your opponent's best move? That's great advice. And one way to do that is to
Yeah,
have saved your own replay,
I
right?
think that's best thought is a think what opponent can do
Right,
is better can do.
right. So you can switch the view of the replays. So Control T allows you to see the board from your opponent's perspective in a replay. So here are, we're showing this game against Positive from earlier. Um,
Yes.
we could see it from his perspective and think through like, oh well, what would I do against this
Yeah,
line of sledges and Phoenix? What would my answer be? And we can
we
see,
need wasps, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, Wasps would have been a decent answer. Or whatever his answer is, it needs to answer the Phoenix as well as the sledgehammers. Overlords might be a good answer also
You have no
with
A,
range. Yeah, he has 0 strong AA right now. Um,
and now it's the best way to beat you.
right. Yeah, beating me requires taking the right now in this game would have required taking the Phoenix out here. But I just wanted to show that just people might not know that they can look at that in replay and hit Control T
Yeah.
to switch sides. I used to do that a lot with my, in particularly, instead of just, oh, I lost, return to lobby. I would save replay and go back and watch my own matches from my opponent's perspective, and I think I learned a lot about how they were beating me. Not necessarily what I could have done to stop it, but what they were seeing and why they were making some of the choices that they were making that really wrecked me. I think that was an important piece for me. So that's, the thinking ahead, like you were describing, to think of it from the not just my perspective, but what was my opponent going to try to do to counter what I currently have on the board
We
is
all need to
definitely
think into two perspectives.
right. It's like chess master.
Yeah.
If you've ever played chess, there's a point as you're learning chess where all of a sudden you start thinking another whole move in advance, and you're like, oh, well, if I do this, my opponent is likely to do this, and then I'm going to do this. And the moment you make that jump, it becomes almost unfair for you to play against somebody that hasn't made that jump in thinking yet. And obviously, the grandmasters are doing that at 7 moves out, where I'm doing it at 1 move out. 3 moves out maybe. But I don't think I've even reached that level of mastery of Mechabellum at all. So there's a common thought that it takes about 10,000 hours to master something. Do you think it's going to take that kind of commitment to master Mechabellum?
I think I've already gotten pretty comfortable with Mechabellum, and
Right.
I definitely did not need 10,000 hours. It
Just
seems to me that you that if you play with a coach, you can learn in 5,000 or 500 hours.
ah, so coaching helps a lot. Yes.
Yeah, coaching is very help.
Yeah. I have done. I
I
had
studied
go
I
ahead.
studied on my own, so it took more time.
Right. Yeah, I definitely felt like I learned a lot the day I had Cody and Zach coaching me. I definitely got a lot out of that.
Nice.
What's your favorite Mechabellum moment so far? Do you have a positive moment that sticks out to you? A feeling that was. It could be a single match. It could be a tournament. It could be.
I think it's probably my favorite moment was when I won my first weekly tournament. then then I went for another week very important,
Yes.
constantly remembering that I am the EU champion.
Yes. Having the big gold bar and the big gold star next to your name for sure.
So walking in a walking and thinking I am the best.
Yes. We say walking tall with a
Yeah,
strut in your walk. Have you been able to take any positive experience from Mechabellum into your own personal life?
that was a that was a moment.
That was, yeah, the personal confidence for sure.
Yeah, that was a moment when I won the
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I would be utterly remiss if I did not ask the question. I think um, we all want to know. Tell us about the famous cat in your profile pic.
Okay, I'll tell you. Incredible fact: the famous cat is she.
She,
She is the famous.
she's the
Yeah,
famous
yeah,
cat.
she.
Excellent. What's her name?
She. Yo,
Yo.
yo.
Her name is Yo.
Your name is Yo. She's very active, often rushing around the apartment,
Uh-huh.
bending over and stomping loudly, trying to scare us.
Thump, 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 thump. Thump, 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 thump. I can hear it
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Does she ever
While I play, he sits on my lap. Yeah.
I was gonna say, does she ever interrupt stream?
She also has a two-room house on a closet made from a large box.
Uh, my my kiddo
There's
would
a
love that. My kiddo makes
uh,
box stuff for
now she looking from that. These are personal, her personal apartments.
right. Nice. Let me go grab your. You did put a photo of it in the pet pictures, right? I think photo of
Nah,
her.
okay, okay.
No, I don't see. I don't see one in pet pictures.
I can send you.
Okay, it's fine. I just wanted to give people cat pictures. You know they love cat pictures.
Ah,
So
I've heard that on your channel, uh, you have the channel Pet Pictures.
we do, yes. There's a pet pictures in the Discord. Dear player says we require kitties. Exactly. You are not wrong. So, what do you think of the famous cats versus dogs rivalry uh, in Mechabellum? Do you have anything to say to the dog enjoyers out there?
I'm enjoying when I'm when I'm playing with red.
Yes,
So cat
cat versus
against the
rat.
rat.
Of course, of course. Brilliant. Love it.
He is resting.
Got it.
She
Got
is
it.
resting.
She is resting. Yes. Brilliant. Oh my goodness. Excellent. The classic, high quality Mechabellum content you are all expecting here.
Yeah, yeah. That's me. That's me after two tournaments.
Yeah, right. Just completely laid out on the. I'm done. I'm done out. Yeah, Apucci said
I'm done.
he lost the America's final because it was the end of 8+ hours of streaming and playing, and it was just like I was so tired and checked out. I just couldn't. I just didn't have it like to win that 14th game. So I can totally feel it. I'm the same way. At the end of tournament day, I've finished
Okay,
casting the
okay.
second tournament.
Last picture.
Uh
Last
oh, we
picture.
have sweet. Just done. End of tournament day. I'm done. Oh, I want to rub belly, and I know just how dangerous that would be. I still have scars.
She's
Subs
playing.
Sub says we now know whose pet is who, and the cat owns Steel. You're telling Platonic that the cat plays the tournaments. Yo plays the tournaments.
She playing.
He said coaching was important. He's got his coach right there. What more could you want?
Photo of my coach.
Photo of coach. Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to add? Anything you'd like to bring up or chat about?
Mm, maybe more questions.
More questions? And audience, have any
Mm,
more questions to give?
maybe more questions from chat.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cat
who
needs some.
wanted to ask me?
Mike Tyson says cat needs some chainmail, like
Cat
Dachshund's
needs some
chainmail.
chima.
Dachshund's chainmail.
I think that was a easy tournament, Asia, last Asia tournament because there is no Asians
Ah,
because they play it their own tournament.
that week. Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah,
So you had
their own tournament.
they were doing their own. Hmm. Ah,
Where is
Zalix.
Chinese boys?
Zalix says we need to see you play a game.
Yeah,
do a ladder game and we
let's
can
skip
spectate?
it.
Mike Tyson says, "What? How do you feel about aggro? Why don't you play it? And do you think it's weak?" So, yeah, I think we sort of had the answer to that earlier. You said that you had
Yeah,
decided to
yeah.
become the best
Mhm,
defensive player in the game. I
mhm.
will defeat Rush aggro.
There is no question about the difference uh, between uh, from aggro to standard play. Just the difference between aggro and standard
Hmm.
is that in aggro strategy with an inferior army, you can win by breaking the tower in time. But in standard, you're confronting the enemy army and not trying to break his tower. Basically,
Mm.
it is better for new players to master standard rather than aggro. Aggro players may not agree with me,
Hmm.
but this is my opinion.
Actually, I would agree with you. And having been an aggro player at a junior level, right, I found when I got to a higher level, I was encountering. I'd gotten to a level higher than I deserved by beating up on players who didn't know how to handle aggro, right? And then I would reach this point where like I can't actually directly compete with the players at this level anymore. Um, and the aggro, as you were saying, with where I might have had a weaker army, a weaker tech, a weaker build, it just wasn't enough uh, to carry me anymore. As soon as I ran into people who knew how to defend well, so forcing myself to try and go back and learn aggro later has been really difficult. But I think you're not at all wrong in that opinion. I think you're very correct.
Destroying a tower gives a strong advantage, I think.
Yeah, destroying the tower, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Luminescent says, when I play ladder, most people aggro, and when I do tournament, very few people aggro.
Are you playing in EU tournament?
Yeah, I think he
Because
does.
in Asia tournament, more standard players than
Hmm.
aggro.
Yes. Platonic, there was a cash prize as well as a coaching prize from the Trash Masters tournament, and our very own Xfire here has already posted up for a prize for the second one. So has sponsored that for us along with a couple of other people, and so yes, there will be a cash prize to the next Trash Masters tournament as well. Dear player says, "Oh no, I just remembered Trash Masters. I'm not trash anymore." Yes, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steelsane. You do not qualify for the Trash Masters. Your MMR is too high. We only accept people with low
It's
MMR.
sad.
It's very sad.
I, I can do Smurf account
You can do a Smurf account. Yes,
and
exactly.
beat every player on your Trash Masters tournament.
Exactly.
I think we'd recognise it's you. That's the only thing.
Gosh, this guy plays a lot like a certain.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this
It's hard
formation
to
seems.
hide.
Oh,
Oh, it's still
oh,
same.
Larius, thank you. Larius says, if I wanted to donate to the prize pool, is there a link on the guild Discord? Um, there's not, but
Hard to hide.
you can talk to Zach directly. Um, Larius, if you've got you and Zach can hook up in the guild Discord and chat about it.
Look at this War Factory boy. If you can't win, just just try War Factory.
Yeah.
If you can't win,
If you can't win, go War Factory. If you are winning, definitely go War Factory.
Yeah. I found a way to beat War Factors. Just do Scorps
Scorpion was really intended as
with
a
acid.
yeah, it was really intended as the answer to War Factory, I think, as a unit. It does depend on getting through whatever chaff opponent has in front of the War Factory, and you still need an answer to the Phoenix as well. But in English, I don't know if they have this problem in Russian, but the language they chose for the Scorpion is anti-swarm in English, and swarm has a has kind of a connotation of small insects. So people think of anti-swarm as meaning, oh, that would answer crawlers, but it's really intended to answer the swarm of medium-sized units, the steel balls and sledges that are produced by a war factory.
Now I can answer the question.
Yeah,
I don't spoiler the end of the game.
I know you have looked in complete control here and have added the acid scorpions under
I
bubbles
think my mistake. I think my mistake here. I need Scorp on two sides.
instead of
One side,
Yeah.
one Scorp.
Yeah, the level 2 on the side you knew about the War Factory, and the level 1 on the other
But
one in case he brings out another one. In case she brings out another one. So,
but my side has two Scorps, and
Yeah.
this is a mistake.
Yeah. But you couldn't have known whether Sunnyside was going to bring out a second War Factory next to this one, or put them
Yep.
apart from each other.
But one Scorp is enough for
Yeah, one.
two War Factories.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, this
Very
one.
good versus.
Yeah, you can see
This is
we had the Phoenix line taking care of the produced Phoenixes. We had our strong set of sledges with McRage working on the produced units, and then the Scorpion with the area of effect, even if it targets on the unit that the War Factory has produced. It's got enough splash to hit the War Factory as well. Drops the acid in front of it so that the War Factory, as it advances, drives right onto the acid. It's definitely intended as the answer to War Factory. So,
What beats Scorpion? Questions from chat.
Hmm.
I think air.
air is
Some
the
air.
answer. Yeah.
You need some air to beat Scorps. just.
Yeah, Phoberos, that's actually kind of funny. It's the match that is shown as a replay at the very start of this call, of the very start of the VOD, is actually a me running Sledgehammer and Phoenix into, or Sledgehammers into an opponent ran Scorpions against the Sledgehammers, and Steelsane joined halfway through the call. He's like, "Oh well, looks like you needed some Phoenix." And immediately, even though it's on replay, he's not coaching me live, right? Even though it was a replay, I immediately bought Phoenix. It was pretty funny. So you can definitely see that. Yeah, proper chaff, shielded fang helps for sure.
Yep.
I was using crawlers, Larius. You're not wrong. And Sunnyside, he says it was a desperate measure. I was just too far behind already, and yeah, we kind of saw that from the way Steelsane said it when you brought the War Factory out. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
you cast on Twitch or on other areas or other channels?
Casting on Twitch and YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Steelsane streams
Re-
on Twitch.
Restream.
He does primarily in
Yeah.
Russian, but as you can hear here, his English is solid. So if you drop by,
Yes.
he's happy to say hello. If you say hello in English, he's usually happy to chat with you a bit in English.
Well, the other thing I was going to ask is how popular this game is in Russia, and whether he had a
How popular?
feel for that of that community.
Not many popular. I
Not very
think in
popular.
I think in Europe it's more popular, much more. But in Russia need time to get popularity of Mechabellum.
Yeah. I mean,
I genuinely feel strategy games are quite popular in Russia.
Yeah,
Are you a chess player? Is there something about this game that particularly appeals to you as an individual?
I'm not a chess player. Uh,
Okay.
I I don't play chess. I played just few times, maybe played chess, but I am a more RTS player, real time strategy player, like Warcraft or Dota 2. But
Okay. Yeah. I've played Dota 2 for a long time, but
yeah,
I'm I'm a little bit too. I feel too old for it now. My reactions aren't as good.
hmm,
I sort of get away with being in a support role in Dota, but I can't play at the top level.
mhm,
Um,
yeah,
this game is for me is a bit more of a thinking man's game, and obviously a slower pace. It doesn't matter about your clicks per minute. It
yeah.
is really
it
me.
I really love it. Mm, that Mechabellum don't needs APM,
yeah,
don't need reaction
yeah. I have hated the
to
entire
play.
RTS genre for exactly that reason. I feel like I
Yeah,
am. I
I'm
hate.
weak in RTS.
I was well. I was gonna say I hate losing a game because I feel like I didn't navigate the UX, the user experience of the game in
Yep.
as well as my opponent did, and it's like I lost because blank was happening off screen. The camera never even pointed me to it. You know, great. I didn't even notice. I didn't swing over to check my, that one flank, and like, no, that's just not fun.
I wonder, Steelsane, have you ever played StarCraft?
StarCraft. I've never played StarCraft, but I played Warcraft.
Right. Okay. Yeah. StarCraft is kind of the opposite.
I've played. I've played the
RTS.
Warhammer.
Right.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things I was expecting as part of the answer from when I asked Steel Sane what he thought was compelling about this game. Is I think that element of being able to give us the time to think through our moves and not necessarily be pressured, while still having a decent balance of timing, is one of the things that the developers have done really well. Personally,
Yeah.
um,
Well, apart from when you get into round 10, round 11, round 13,
yeah, I actually
Steelsane, have you asked that question? Would you prefer to see more time in those later rounds?
No, I need.
Yeah.
I don't need more time. I guess it's fine.
So you wouldn't want to slow down the game with more time at the end.
No.
Maybe it's maybe that's a thing that's kind of more my problem then. Perhaps I would be better at it, but
yeah
I feel really under pressure at round 10, round 11, round 12.
I'm trying to finish the game before the game is too late.
yeah
Yes,
yeah. I definitely feel
understood.
like I run out of time in those 10th, 11th, 12th rounds. There's just so many different things that need to get done.
My combat pouch shot up though.
Yeah, winning tournaments or going 13-1 in tournaments over a weekend, that'll definitely push your combat power up, right? It's just so that the for those that don't know in the audience, the combat power and MMR gains and losses are accelerated in tournament games. So
It's
if
hard to keep combat power.
if you play tournaments, you should see your combat power go up.
Yeah. If
and
you
then-
play in ladder,
Yeah,
your combat power is
It's-
just down and down.
yeah. I mean, it's more like, well, from where you are, which is exceptionally high, it's going to come down. Mine, I think.
But I wanted to play. And I don't wanna think about my combat power.
Right.
I just want to be better. Just but to be better, you need to play.
Indeed.
You can't play without losers.
Hours in the seat.
Do you have a Smurf account, Steelsane, or is that?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have. I don't have so much time to smurf accounts. I don't have time to my account.
Right.
Fair enough.
Combat power doesn't really mean anything. Just ignore that numbers altogether. The Sabman says.
Yes. I think you and Saab think very similarly about the game in general. He's very much with you on not having a Smurf account. Refuses.
I have a message to Sabman.
Yes.
Fucking war factories.
he did mention when I told him I was going to be interviewing you. He did say you were a
I'm
little bit
dodging.
salty
I'm
about
dodging
them.
you.
Dodging him.
I'm dodging the Sabman for don't play with him.
Excellent.
Toxicity player with war factories.
Steelzone, how well is that something that you know the players you come up against time and time again? You do get to know what their overall strategy is, or does that not matter to you because you're just generally running your strategy?
Just a second. Can you repeat for me? And I will think.
The question is whether when you're playing, obviously at the top level, you start to see the same players many times. And obviously you have a strategy that, people do generally, I would recognize your strategy. So I know when I'm coming up against you, I have to think, okay, how am I going to combat Steelsane? I wonder whether you have that same thinking with other people where you know their strategies, or whether you are just running your strategy all the time, but just doing it better.
So you think that you have advantage against me, yeah? That you know my strategy.
Yes, I suppose I do. Yeah.
Well,
Not that I can beat.
Yeah, it's an advantage over how he would fare versus not knowing it was you.
No, you have no advantage to me because I'm trying to be like a river, like a player that can do anything. I trying to get trying to add just random moves that that you don't
Don't
that you
expect.
yes. yeah that you can't predict. Just be like a river.
I liked the description you gave a bit earlier when we asked a related question, but you said you're thinking of each solution to each tactical problem that your opponent is presenting. And when you and I talked about, we talked in chat after the EU tournament, you said something very similar. What was, you're not forcing a build as much as you are taking what your opponent is giving you by having the answer to what they've put on the board. That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You have put out X, therefore, Y is going to be my best tactical solution to it.
Yeah.
Do you ever try to exert your will on the game in terms of forcing your opponent in a certain direction? Or is it all reactive?
The question: do you ever try to exert your will on the other player to
Yes.
force them? Yeah. When I take an action, I think about the response. So response to this action. Having placed the wasps, I wait for the mustangs and place the tanks.
Right.
I try to make the game go according to my scenario, but often I have to adjust. That's my answer.
Yeah, you're adjusting, but you're also predicting what's coming ahead. And I do see it in the way that Beagle Rush plays. Where he would say, like, I played the Wasp, so I know he's going to play the Mustangs, so I'm going to play this that answers the Mustangs, because that's the best answer to what I have just done on my last turn. So, very, very much.
To beat Subman, I need Chaff Clear, firstly, and Scorps.
Yeah,
yes.
Handle
to
the
beat
things.
War Factories.
Yeah, handle the things in front of the War Factory, and then for me, the thinking change that I had to make was to beat Saab at all, and I'm not sure that I can anymore. Saab has grown a lot as a player since I was last able to beat him. But the change in thinking that I had to make was to stop thinking of chaff clear and think of mid-level unit clear. So what am I doing?
That's
what are
why
my answers to Steel Ball? What are my answers to Sledgehammer? So
that's why I don't like play
Well
with
done, Joe.
Subman, because the same scenario every game.
Yeah, you're looking for a little bit more tactical variety to enjoy the game.
Yeah,
makes sense.
To be better.
Right. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. Really appreciate you taking the time to do this, to be here. I appreciate the way that you're part of the community, the sportsmanship that I've seen from you, the gracious way that you welcomed me to your Twitch chat a couple of weeks ago, and then obviously congrats on the tournament wins. We'll put that up one last time.
Yeah. Thanks
very
for
well
the
done.
interview.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
We really appreciate it.
I can say спасибо.
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 Пожалуйста. That's we say.
All I remember from
after спасибо, we say пожалуйста.
Пожалуйста.